Scoop. Crypto exchange Bitvavo owed up to $300 million by Genesis. European crypto exchange Bitvavo is part of the so-called creditors committee that is trying to wrestle more than $1.8 billion back from Barry Silbert's Genesis Trading and its parent company, Digital Currency Group. This is according to sources familiar with the matter who spoke directly to Protos. When Bahamas-based exchange FTX collapsed in November, Genesis was forced to suspend redemptions. As a result, in addition to freezing $175 million of Genesis's trading assets, it also left Genesis and Digital Currency Group owing three major creditors: $900 million to the Winklevoss twins Gemini, $350 million to a group of investors led by investment firm Eldridge, and $500 million to Bitvavo. For the record, Bitvavo puts this figure at closer to $300 million. Bitvavo allegedly also saw its staking program affected. The platform offers up to 10% yield on staked assets and typically claims more than $40 million in daily transaction volume. As part of their efforts to claw back their money, Gemini and Bitvavo have formed a creditors committee. They've also retained law firm Kirkland and Ellis as legal counsel and global investment bank Houlihan Lokey as financial advisor. If the creditors are successful in taking back their funds, it could significantly cut into Genesis Trading's finances. Protos has contacted Bitvavo for comment and will update this story if and when new information becomes available. Bad debt between Genesis and Gemini. According to Gemini Earn's frequently asked questions, it might be possible to get Gemini Earn users' money back if Genesis Trading and Digital Currency Group can collect on loans from their largest debtors. Genesis and Digital Currency Group could also raise funds in a new equity funding round or pursue a restructuring of their debt. This, however, would take time. Digital Currency Group recently injected $140 million worth of collateral into Genesis Trading to supplement the funds that were frozen on FTX. However, the companies will need new funding sources to pay back their debts. The original terms of the loan package with Eldridge indicates that the balance is due in 2023. However, Eldridge now aims to collect as soon as possible due to the vulnerable positions of Digital Currency Group and Genesis. CEO Barry Silbert told shareholders that Digital Currency Group used the loan from Eldridge and a $575 million loan from Genesis to fund investment opportunities and repurchase shares from non-employee shareholders. Digital Currency Group is pursuing a $1.2 billion claim in the Three Arrows Capital bankruptcy case. It took over the claim to protect Genesis Trading. Silbert says Digital Currency Group is on track to earn $800 million in revenue in 2022. Despite the earnings, Genesis and Digital Currency Group remain vulnerable due to the $1.7 billion in debt to outside companies and the loss of $175 million in the FTX meltdown. They might recover if they can claw back a significant portion of the funds from debtors like Three Arrows Capital. However, they might have to go through restructuring to resolve the issue. Update as of 25/6 Universal Coordinated Time, December 15th. Since this article was published, Bitvavo has contacted Protos to confirm that it is/has been a member of the so-called creditors committee. According to Bitvavo, it has also conducted multiple lending transactions with Genesis in the past, and is actually pursuing a net claim of somewhere in the region of $250 million to $300 million. This, it says, is dependent on the value of the underlying crypto assets. Bitvavo told Protos, quote, based on the information provided by Genesis/Digital Currency Group, it seems likely that the full amount will be repaid over time. In the meantime, and if required, Bitvavo decided to step in to protect users using off-chain staking services to ensure that customers can have access to their funds when needed, end quote. For more informed news, follow us on Twitter and Google News, or listen to our investigative podcast, Innovated Blockchain City.